Buddy, welcome to Livermore Rotary. I'm Splendorio. You guys all stand. I didn't even say to stand yet. So we haven't. I'm sorry. I did ring the bell, but someone has taken the gavel. Does anybody have any ideas? Is it going to cost me money? Okay, so we're going to wait a week before someone decides. So Mike says he'll donate $1,000 for the return of the gavel. Okay, so we're going to wait another week. Okay, we will. Let's start with the pledge. Mary Ann Roja, please lead us in the pledge. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic in which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everybody. We next have our songsters, and we welcome
excuse me, President. President Splint, I received I received this note. It was left at my office, and I have to read it to the group. It says, I'm a little bit upset. Just a note to let you know that I'm safe, but I couldn't imagine letting another summer slip by without getting out of Livermore for a bit. Don't worry, I'll send photos. And then, so I'm so President Splend, I don't know who our culprit is, but definitely, and I'm assuming he's having fun wherever he may be, but
or she
could, yes. Well, I guess the gavel's an it, right?
Well,
yeah.
I'm thinking about the perpetrator.
Oh, the perpetrator. Yeah. Well, by looking at this nice, these white legs, dang sure it's not me going to the beach. But anyway, I am worried, and I'm going to be working diligently to see if I can find who the culprit is.
Thank you very much, Sheila.
You're welcome.
There'll be a big reward for you at the end.
At the end,
if
I
you're
make
able to find this dastardly, that the statutory deed is righted somehow.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Didn't mean to interrupt.
In the meantime, for whoever who did take it, I wish the worst sort of thigh rash at being at the beach imaginable to you. Okay, songsters. Sam, Stu. Here. Stu, huh?
Okay. Well, we thought with our guest speaker today, Jim and his friends, we thought we would do an appropriate song. I'm Your Puppet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull a string and I'll wink at you. I'm your puppet. I'll do funny things if you want me to. I'm your puppet. I'm yours to have and hold. Darling, you got full control of your puppet. Pull another string and I'll kiss your lips. I'm your puppet. Snap your fingers and I'll turn some flips. I'm your puppet. Your every wish, my command. All you gotta do is wiggle your little hand. I'm your puppet. I'm your puppet. I'm your puppet.
Oh, Tim's doing double duty. Let's welcome back Tim to the stage and do the thought of the day.
Thank you, Splan. Well, as you know, I like to express myself with music, and I was thinking my two sons are getting up there in age, which, you know, they're getting older. I'm not getting any older, but they sure are. And I was thinking of Joni Mitchell's song, The Circle Game, and I'm going to do that for you now. Yesterday, a child came out to wonder. Sing the chorus with me if you want. Caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful that the sky is full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like "when you're older" must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town, and they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet to slow the circle down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. So the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams and plenty, before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
Thank you very much, Tim. I wanted to do that. Okay, if you could give the mic to Mark, Sheila. Okay, so, okay, I'm hoping that this is the best damn 90 minutes you spend in your week. Some of you don't think that's a really good catchphrase. So last week we asked Mark to come up with a better catchphrase. Mark, what have you come up with?
Well, I appreciate the fact that, the original catchphrase was aspirational. But, as newly engaged, I thought about it, and this is probably not, the best 90 minutes that I'm going to spend this week. So I was thinking, well, we have several options here. I had a couple of rough drafts. First of all, I couldn't imagine a better group of folks to spend 90 minutes with. Get it? The imagine thing? Okay. And then I hope this was the best meeting you have this week, but I'm not sure whether any of those really do it. I mean, they're not bad. I mean, they're better than the first one. There's no question about that. But I was thinking maybe, Splend, we need a subcommittee to work on this.
Yeah,
Well,
you know what? The thing is, we do have a consultant. I mean, is Dave Rounds on the Zoom?
Yes, he is.
That is perfect. Perfect. Dave was an editor of apparently a major newspaper.
wow,
So he might have some skills in this regard, Mark.
that's amazing.
So I'm appointing you and Dave to the subcommittee that I hope grows into consultants and consultants and consultants ad nauseum for the rest of the year
Well,
to really hone that message for us. Okay, can you take that on for us?
I think I could. We'll probably need to do some interim reports back, maybe every, 2 to 3 months.
And a retreat is absolutely necessary.
Okay. All right. And is this in the budget?
It's Norm, in the budget? Yeah,
All right.
absolutely in the budget.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
And if you feel motivated to help out on this important thing, please let me know.
Right. And remember, retreats are best at the beach. Okay.
I'm thinking Cancun.
Okay. Yes. Who do we have? Oh, there is Mr. Rounds. So Dave, you've accepted?
I had a choice. I didn't know I had a choice, Len.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Mark. All right, front line, let's recognize, hey, I'm going to put a little message here. We really need people to step up and be some spur reports. It's not as burdensome maybe as you think, right? You can go off the PowerPoint, you can link to the video, but we really, right now, Gordon's doing it. But please, 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 Spur Publisher, of course, is Kathy Coyle, does a marvelous job of taking photos. Irv, of course. Audiovisual today is Dennis O'Brien. Zoom host, chat monitor is Jeff Youngsmud. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it very much. Give them all a big hand. All right. Visiting Rotarians and guests. I know we've got some visitors. Kathy?
We have better known group from Pleasanton North. Yay, Pleasanton North. They are all here because they are groupies of another Pleasanton North member who, by the way, brought a lot of his other friends. They're on the step up there. Jim Ott, stand up, everybody. Jim Ott, he's the program. He's a, I don't think that's a classification in your club, but stay standing. And we have past president Michael Sherman, past president Herb Ritter, past president Tammy Hennigan, and she is also an area assistant governor for Area 4, and Jim Ott and Steve Sherman. So there's two Shermans, but different spelling. Yeah, so I will dispense with the classifications, but please welcome all of Jim's. Yeah.
Welcome,
See, I
Pleasanton
didn't know whether
North.
he wanted me to use one of his friends' names or what. The groupie puppets. Very nice.
I mean, there was a time when you called yourselves the funnest Rotary Club. Is that right?
Now you're just getting to be the oldest Rotary. Greatest. Now the greatest, oldest Rotary Club. Okay. All right, Mark.
President Splend, Mariana. I'd like to introduce to you Mariana Marshieva, who is our new city manager. Yay!
All right, any other guests? Roland?
Yeah, I got to put a shout out to Pleasanton North Rotary. I was a member of that club. They are one of the greatest Rotary clubs in the world. And so anyway, love all you guys. Hey, I have somebody really exciting to introduce. This is Josh Jonas. He is well known to Paul. He is well known to Ronnie. He is well known to me. He is two things he does. Number one, he's a pastor over at First Pres. That's important. Number two, he sings like a dove. He's an angel, incredible singer, leads worship. Number three, he is with Aruka House. Aruka House is a powerful organization that saves and walks with men. They're coming out of prison, and this guy does wonders. And I hang out with these guys all the time because they're all wingmen for me doing mission work. So I'm so thankful to have Josh considering the club, and just introduce Josh Jonas.
Welcome, Josh. Thank you. Anybody else? All right, move on, Dennis. Okay, announcements. Well, let's bring up, I know, Gordon, did I cover your announcement during the spur report? Thank you. Okay, glad I did it. Mike?
Yeah, thanks, guys. A fun mystery golf day,
Could you please stand, Mike?
afternoon.
I mean, unless your age hinders you from doing that.
Is oh, he wants me to stand up. Oh, God. Anyway,
I heard that back up here.
Thursday, August 11th, we will be meeting at 11:45 at the Starbucks in the Ace Shopping Center downtown. This is open to all abilities. We have already, I think, about 12 signed up. I was limiting it to 16. I've increased it today to 20 because I'm hearing other rumors. So please get me your name and a check for $45 made out to me. Norm doesn't want to deal with this in and out. So just make it out to me. And then in the evening at 6:30, we'll meet for dinner. Those of you who wish to at Star Anise in Livermore.
Great.
Okay, so let me know if you want to play and also if you want to be coming to dinner. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Before you got up here, just come, walk it up. We think we've solved the crab feed issue. Right, Don? We're going to be here. Crab feed will be here. Okay, so crisis over. Yeah. Come on up.
All right. Thank you very much. Today, I'm going to give an update on the project, global grant project that we sponsored. We supported the ear, nose, throat mobile van. Here it is. It's done. And I was just a reminder, our club funded 19,500 to this global grant project of $47,000. And they're very, very appreciative of our contribution. And, we raised $6,250 from all of you Rotarians. And I was lucky to raise additional $13,500 from non-Rotarians who are Indians community. So together we're able to raise the funds, and it made it happen. Now, this project consisted of procuring a van that made soundproof with all the equipment to do the screening for the ear. And the mobile van is to go access remotely the poor villages. That is the purpose of that. And their partners, MAA, ENT Hospital, and the research facility supports all the technical. And let me see. If what they do is they go screen it, then they bring the people back to the Hyderabad in the hospital for doing the surgery. Next one. So basically what happens is you see in this picture, the lady Sunita Kumar, she is the managing director for the ENT hospital. I had the pleasure of visiting all of the hospital and the van, and they're wonderful. There are so many children with a disability and the surgery that is going on and the therapy. So, well, want to know more about it, there is a link, YouTube link, 6 minutes that will explain exactly what they do, how they do that program. Please take a look at it. And there it is. So they're very grateful, and they're honoring all of you through me, flowers, garlands, and shovel and all that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guy. That's a wonderful effort, which he spearheaded. I mean, we all owe a debt of gratitude to God for really spearheading this. All right. Next. New members. Let me bring up Alan Burnham as our membership chair.
Well, this is my first act as the membership chair. Sonia and I are in the process of doing the turnover, and Ronnie, please step on up here. Ronnie, you are about to become the newest member of the Rotary Club of Livermore. The Rotarian who proposed you, that's Splend, for membership, paid you a great compliment. They saw in you those characteristics which would make a fine Rotarian. You have been chosen for membership because we are confident that the image and ideals of Rotary are safe in your keeping. It is with great pleasure that we welcome you as a fellow member of the Rotary Club of Livermore. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. May I present to you Ronnie Forbes, the newest member of our Rotary family. If you have not met Ronnie, you are in for a treat. He is a true whirlwind of service activity. And as I say, he is a great addition to our club. I only met Ronnie, a couple months ago, perhaps, but I'm really amazed at what he does for this community. Ronnie, here's your hat, your vest, your name tag, and your pin.
Wow. What an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spoon.
All right. As you know, we will have a new member talk, but I think with Ronnie, if I can ask Sheila, I mean, Ronnie's story is very compelling. Maybe we should schedule him for a program, as opposed to a new member talking, which I know he'll fill in, but it's a very compelling story. I know he presented the Livermore Valley last week or the week before, but Ronnie's great talk. Okay, next slide, Dennis. Okay, I'm going to defer that. I was going to talk a little bit about me because we only got a couple of minutes. So I'll fill this in, except to that if I can morph into the next slide. I'm going to recognize a few people. First, I have to eliminate a suspect. Keith, could you please stand up? Now, Keith, you have in front of you a hat that says what? Which Balboa Island has sand around it, doesn't it? So can you prove to us you are not the culprit who stole the gavel? You don't, well, let me just put it a different way. A monetary contribution will exculpate you.
$1,000 is beyond my scope, so I can help out with
a $50 donation for not taking the gavel.
Thank you. So please be careful when you wear, which hats you wear and what clothes you wear. I take notice. Let me pick on Paul. Where are you, Paul? McCandless.
Well, this last Sunday morning was a beautiful morning and I decided to go out on one of my favorite bicycle rides. I head out through Holdner Park, down Vineyard Avenue, skirt around the edge of Pleasanton and go down to Sunol and loop back up and coming home on Stanley. And as I was coming back into Livermore on Stanley, just cruising along, thinking about whether I should add a little distance to the ride, just coming up on Wall Street. From behind me, a car slams right into me, throws me into the gutter and takes off. So I'm just kind of lying there hoping that something will happen, and some very kind people stopped and helped me. They kept the sun out of my eyes, called the 911. And then I got, hauled off. Of course, our good firefighters and police came, and I got hauled off to Eden because I had some back and head injuries. The good news is I have no permanent, no long-term issues from that. Everything will heal up just fine over time. But the guy who stopped to call 911, he said that it looked like the car that hit me was deliberately did it. So it swerved off, hit me, swerved back into the lane and kept going. Now, when I talked to the nurses at Eden and I mentioned that, they said, well, more likely it was a distracted driver, somebody texting or something like that, hits me, panics, just keeps going. Either way, it didn't make me feel good about people, right? I mean, neither scenario. But today I would like to join the President's Club in appreciation of the people who stopped and helped me. They were tremendous. They took time out of their day. And so this is will be for the people who stopped to help me and for the first responders who came.
Well, Paul, hey, it turned out for the best, but thanks for sharing your story. Like I said, this is our club. We want to share as much as, much as reasonable, but thank you once again for sharing, Paul. Thank you very much. All right. Dale, I see you on Zoom. Could you unmute yourself?
Hello, Splend.
Hey, Dale, you are really into Porsches, aren't you?
Well, I've been a little bit hampered with a shoulder replacement recently, but earlier I certainly did my share of professional training and stuff for other drivers.
Right. And I was getting to the shoulder replacement. Because of the shoulder replacement, you're unable to drive as much as you have in the past, which means you're saving a lot of gas money, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm just doing my electric car thing. So that's a good savings.
So do you think some of that savings might be shared with the club?
Well, I'd be happy. I was looking for an excuse to join the President's Club.
Thank you very much, Dale.
I'll be happy to.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dale. Appreciate it. All right, let's move on to, I believe our program is next. I think that's what we got next. Oh, I forgot one thing. Kelly, are you done eating? Could you come up here for a second? Paul, Schmidt, you want me to do this, right? No, you're not, you're just smiling. That's all you got to do. So the rodeo parade was very successful. Here's $3,000 for the school district. Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. I know that I won't be the superintendent forever. In fact, my time is near August 1st, my last day, but my heart's still with Livermore in the schools. This is for our amazing students in the band that performed. And it's something that they definitely deserve and it will go to great cause. So thank you for always being so supportive. Two of our groups are going on to Carnegie Hall next year. So really exciting things. So thank you for your constant support.
Okay. Here's a reminder for next week's program. Our past member Eileen Bergino is going to be our speaker, talking about Violins of Hope, which I know is going to be visiting our city end of the year. When? Okay, November. All right. I got it. I couldn't hear you. It's really hard up here. All right.
February 5th, February.
5th. All right, let's bring up Jim Ott. Jim Ott is a professor of English at Las Positas College. He is a former CEO in the banking industry, which he was the CEO of Uncle Credit. And he served 2 years as chairman of the Livermore Chamber. For 15 years, he wrote a human interest column published in the Bay Area News Group newspapers. Jim also served as a trustee for the Pleasanton Unified School District from 2005 to 2010. And he's a charter member of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton North. He has been a Rotarian for 30. Is that going to happen every time we mention Pleasanton North? All right. You know, because I have my own concerns here, because I'm up here introducing Jim as a ventriloquist. And, you know, I have these visions of the shows, the variety shows in the 50s and 60s, that I'll end up as the dummy. So I really don't, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But anyway, today, let's welcome Jim. And the title of it is Keeping Alive the Art of Ventriloquism. That's good.
Thank you, Splend. Keeping alive the art of ventriloquism. Well, thank you all for having me here today. I recognize a lot of faces. If you're a member of Uncle Credit Union, please raise your hand. Oh yeah, this is the heartbeat of our credit union. I had a great 10-year career at Uncle as a CEO. It capped off a 30-year career for me in banking, and 30 years of banking. And I started teaching in the evenings at Las Positas College in the 1990s. And I did that for 17 years before I retired from banking and then became an English teacher full-time at the college, which is going on about eight or 9 years now. So part of this program is whatever happened to Jim Ott, I thought he was a banker. You know, whatever happened to Jim Ott, I thought he was a Chamber of Commerce, and I was the chairman of the chamber for a couple of years. And whatever happened to that guy that used to write those human interest columns? You remember my human interest columns in the newspaper? I really had a great time doing that. Well, it all leads up unbelievably to ventriloquism. Isn't that amazing? You go from banker to English teacher to ventriloquist. I mean, it's natural if you think about it. Not really. All right, let's take a look at my program here. So I'm in this picture. I just got back a few days ago from a convention in Kentucky, and there were 450 people like me, crazy enthusiasts that are trying to keep alive ventriloquism. I'm right here. And here's my friend, Dick Fitzmaurice. You may remember him. He was a Pleasanton Rotarian, Dick Fitzmaurice. So we had a great time. Here are some of the things we think of when we talk about ventriloquism. Talk without moving your lips, that's obvious. Speaking from the belly, that's what ventriloquist means. It means that in Latin. Who's the dummy? Of course, you know. And then throwing your voice. Do we really throw our voice? Well, I'm not going to give away the secret. So ventriloquism began in ancient times, but Fred Russell really made it popular. He introduced the idea of talking with a dummy in 1886, just as vaudeville was getting started. So here's some vaudeville pictures. And of course, vaudeville went from the 1880s until the 1930s. The Great Lester was probably one of the most famous. He was popular. He popularized the idea of drinking while talking, having the dummy talk while you're drinking. His greatest student was Edgar Bergen. How many people remember Edgar Bergen? Yeah. Well, we got a little Charlie McCarthy up here. I brought along a few friends. I got a couple other friends in the back that are bigger size, and we're going to meet them too toward the end of this talk. So Charlie McCarthy, 1903, 1978, Edgar Bergen. Some interesting things. Charlie McCarthy, people thought he was a real person. He was a puppet. And he had a radio show. Oh, first of all, Edgar Bergen's will left $10,000 to Charlie, nothing to his daughter, Candace. Candace Bergen, you know that name? She's an actress, 0. And Candace later in a biography said, I think I was a little bit of a wild child, and I think he was punishing me a little for that. 0 to Candace. He had a radio show, 1937 to 1956. That's a long time. That's the deal I want, a ventriloquist on radio. And they pay you for it. And the second best deal is wearing these masks and being a ventriloquist. That really works too. Jerry Mahoney, we have a little Jerry Mahoney up here. Paul Winchell, really famous ventriloquist. And here are some of the little toys you can buy. And of course, any chance to put a grandson in the picture, right? And he's holding the puppet that I got when I was 10 years old. And he's with us today. Danny O'Day and Jimmy Nelson. You might remember Nestles. Right, Farfel. Farfel does the chocolate. And when Jimmy Nelson, I'll just show you a picture here. When Jimmy Nelson auditioned for that, the dog's mouth snapped shut by accident. You're not really supposed to do that as a ventriloquist. And he thought, oh, I'm not going to get the role. And they called him up and said, you are awesome. And you're going to always make sure that that mouth snaps because it's perfect. Another picture of my grandson. He's a little bit older nowadays with Danny O'Day. I posted this in Facebook, and there's a lot of Facebook groups with ventriloquists. I posted that picture and I got a response, not from Jimmy Nelson, because Jimmy Nelson's passed away, but from his son. Jimmy Nelson's son said, my dad would have loved this picture. So really, really sweet. It's a very small family, it's a very small world of ventriloquists in the United States. You may recognize some of these people today. You might have even gone and seen them, especially Jeff Dunham, probably the most famous ventriloquist, certainly the richest out there. Darcy Lynn Farmer, the little girl at 12 years old who won America's Got Talent and even got, what's his name, the British dude to stand up and clap. Was it Simon, right? We got Willie Tyler, and then we've got Terry Fader over there in the lower left-hand corner. And Steve Sherman and I had a chance to go to Las Vegas and see Terry Fader. And I have a kind of a cool picture here coming up. A couple other ventriloquists, 3 others. Jay Johnson, anybody remember the TV show Soap? He had a little puppet, Jay Johnson did. And then Nina Conti, she's a British actress who has a little monkey, and his name is Monkey. And she makes him talk, Nina, I don't think this is a good idea. She's got a great skit. I had a chance to see her at the convention. I had a chance to see Jay Johnson at the convention. And I also got to meet Celia Munoz, who is right now on America's Got Talent. All of those ventriloquists came to this Kentucky convention, which lasted over about a week. And here is me meeting some of these people. Terry Fader was the most exciting, I think, because he's probably, of all these folks, he's probably the most famous. And he knew that I was coming. He saw a post. I had posted on Facebook that I was going to be in Las Vegas and see a show, and he invited me to come backstage afterward. But where do these puppets go when they get old? Do we just recycle them, throw them away? Oh, no. The Vent Haven Museum. Fort Mitchell, Kentucky started in the 1970s as a nonprofit. It has over 1,000 puppets now. I had a chance to go visit the museum. They've expanded while I was there. The convention's a fundraiser for this museum. I sponsored a puppet at $50 a year, and you put your name, and it's got a little name plaque. Even the presidents. And here's my first Jerry Mahoney. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I saw this little guy in a toy store and showed up at Christmas. And there I am, a little picture. And a lot of us ventriloquists that are about my age have pictures just like this, where we have a picture of us with a figure. And this is me on my first day of banking. So how many ventriloquist figures are in my collection? 15. Yeah. The full-size figures are, of course, the more professional ones that we use. The little toys are for kids. And you can do ventriloquism with the toys where you pull the string. But we're going to meet Conrad and Dave here in just a minute. And then this is a Where's Waldo? Except it's Where's Liam, my grandson Liam. There he is in the middle. Oh, and don't miss my Chit Chat series on YouTube. Who doesn't have a YouTube series anymore, right? We all have these YouTube series. I have about 60 episodes. They're 2 to 3 minutes. Just Google Chit Chat with Jerry Mahoney, Jim Ott, OTT, and it'll pop up. And you can have a little fun watching some of these videos. I just want to take a minute before I forget and thank Sheila for putting me up here today, and also Kathy for referring me. And of course, my team from Pleasanton North. I can't believe it. I just kind of let a couple people know that I was going to be here if and kick, and all of a sudden these guys show up. So thank you, PNR, for being here. Yep. All right, it's time to meet Conrad and Dave. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to fit in here. I'm going to do that. It needs to be right up here.
Dennis, is there one we should use differently?
We didn't think about that, did we?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I know this is my word. I'm getting off the stage. Here. I've had nightmares about this stuff. I do want to ask Jim the first question. What's the difference between a marionette and a puppet?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dennis. Let's give Dennis a round of applause for making all this possible. Dennis has been known to come up to Las Positas College and support the veterans community up there. The difference between a marionette and a puppet's like all of them. They're all puppets. This is a puppet. Marionettes are puppets. These little guys are puppets. And then the marionette is typically a little guy that's on strings, right? Yeah, it's like they're all chickens, and then there's a rooster and a hen. Yeah, remember that Seinfeld episode where George's dad or Susan's dad is trying to figure out, no, it's George's dad trying to figure out who's the chicken and who's sleeping with the rooster. All right, so, hey, Dave. Yeah, hey, what's going on? Where are we? Well, where do you think we are? A Barry Manilow convention? Barry Manilow convention? I don't think so. What do you think? Take a closer look. Lionel Richie convention? No. What are you talking about? Are we in Jersey? No. Vegas. We finally made it to Las Vegas. No. We're in Livermore, California at the Livermore Rotary. Oh, yeah, I love those guys. I got my pin on. Yeah, so you got your Rotary pin? I got my pin on too. So Dave, why don't you tell us as we get started here, what do you do for a living? Yeah, get this. So I'm a sit-down Canadian. That makes sense. And I noticed that on the way, when we were getting ready to come over here this morning, you were working, like scribbling away on a legal pad. What was that all about? Yeah, I was working on a routine. You were working on the routine? What routine? The one we're doing now. We're not doing a routine. We're just talking. You think so? Yeah, Dave, and I've told you, you don't need to worry about the jokes or any of that stuff. I take care of the jokes. I take care of all that. I got news for you. What's that? Your jokes aren't that funny. All right, fair enough. Well, you want to do a routine, one of our routines, or you just want to talk? Let's just talk. But first, I'm a little thirsty. You're thirsty? Yeah, I know we didn't rehearse this, but I'm kind of thirsty. Well, you want to clear your throat or something? Yeah. Steve, you got a little bottle of water for us there? All right. So Dave, you want a drink of water? Yeah. All right. Well, let's get this taken care of right now. Is that better? Yeah, thanks. That's great. What's so funny? All right. Hey, listen, let's start with last night. Insomnia, huh? Yeah. You were up reading a book with a flashlight for a good part of the night. Yeah. It was a good topic. Good topic? Yeah. What was the topic? Levitation. I couldn't put it down. All right. And then I noticed the batteries ran out on the flashlight. What happened there? Yeah, not so good. Suddenly I was delighted. And you didn't throw away the batteries, did you? No, I'm going to give them away. Free of charge. That's good. That's good. Hey, you and I like to read the newspapers in the morning, scan the headlines, look for restaurant reviews. And this morning we saw one new restaurant downtown Livermore called On the Moon. Remember that? Yeah, that was good. What did they say about the food and everything? Yeah, they said good food, no atmosphere. On the Moon, yeah. And also then what was the short clairvoyant? Like up here at Santa Rita Jail, this guy escaped. You read about that. It was a short clairvoyant. What was the headline there? Oh, yeah. Small, medium, at large. All right. Hey, and then you were doing the crossword puzzle. I noticed you got a little frustrated. Yeah, there was a clue I couldn't get. A clue you couldn't. Well, maybe the audience can help us out. What was the clue? It's a 4-letter word for feathers. 4-letter word for feathers? Audience, you help us out? What do you think? Maybe think of the real fine little feathers that go inside certain vests. Down. Oh, down. Yeah, down. Oh, what did they say? Down. No, across. Hey, so I understand that you got pulled over by the police. Yeah. Boy, you gonna bring that up here? Sure. Okay. So what happened? Well, so he gets me out of the car. See, he gets me out of the car and he says, you know, you're staggering. Yeah. And I said, well, you're very good looking yourself. And then what happened? We laughed. Well, that's good. That's good. He let you off? No, he took me to jail. Well, this isn't the first time you've had trouble with the law. No, I stole a calendar once. What'd you get? 6 months. The jokes are going to get a little esoteric here, so stay with me. 6 months. Speaking of 6 months, isn't today the 10-year anniversary of something special? Oh, yeah, get this. So get this. So 10 years ago, I asked my childhood sweetheart, my best friend, and the most beautiful lady in the world to marry me. Well, that's really sweet. Yeah, they all said no. Tammy, is it still funny? Tammy has heard this routine like 6 or. This is the 8th performance I've done with Dave, and mostly Rotary meetings. And so it's just a real honor and delight. Would you shut up and get on with the show? All right. So where was I? Where was? Oh yeah. But it's okay. Why? I have a new girlfriend. Oh, you do? Well, I think I do. You think you do? Well, what happened? Well, I think she ran off to the West Indies. She ran off to the West. Oh, Jamaica? No, she went on her own. Thank you, Mark. Some people, do we need to slow down a little bit for some people? All right. That's probably the toughest joke to get. It's not a joke. It's true. All right. So, well, did you ever say anything to your girlfriend that maybe upset her? Well, one time she was putting on her makeup. Yeah. She's painting on her eyebrows real high. Yeah. Painting her eyebrows real high up on her forehead, sort of. Yeah. I said, what's with the eyebrows, sweetie? And she looked at me really surprised. Dave, you are funny. You are really funny. Well, I'm a sit-down comedian. Did I tell you that? Yes, you told everybody that already. All right. Well, I thought you told me your girlfriend fell in love with you at first sight. She did. Well, what happened? She took a second look. Hey, listen, let's change the subject. This is a little sensitive, you and your girlfriends. I understand that some of the lads were telling me that you fell down a well. Yeah, I didn't see that well. And then you went to the doctor to get a checkup? Yeah, it was okay. Everything was fine, except I told him, you know, I think I lost the hearing in one of my ears. You lost the hearing in one of your ears. Yeah, he said, are you sure? And I said, yes, it's definite. Thank you, Steve Sherman, for that joke. Please email me your jokes. I will steal them and use them very nicely in my routines. So what else? Anything else? Oh, yeah. He says, well, you know, while you're here at the doctor's office, I'd like to talk about your weight. Your weight. Yeah. Well, I said, no worries. It was only 10 minutes and the chairs were very comfortable. All right, Dave, I think we're going to wrap up. You know, we got to make room for Conrad. We got Conrad up here, too. He's going to do a little performance with us. Yeah, he's a good guy. You'll like him, Conrad. So any last minute words of wisdom? Oh yeah, I'd like to do this for 3 things. Okay, go ahead. Good news, sharks, it turns out that sharks will only attack you if you're wet. Okay, that's good. Don't trust a faith healer that wears glasses. Okay, what's the last one? Don't trust elevators. You should take steps to avoid them. Okay, all right. All right, well, Dave, I think that's, hold on. Dave, your time is up. We got to bring Conrad up. Hold on. I don't think I have a girlfriend anymore. Well, I know, but there's a lot of cute ladies here. Dave, you shouldn't be doing that. You made me say it. All right, ladies, I'll do you a solid. If you fell in love with Dave at first sight, raise your hand. Just give him an ego boost. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have a suggestion. Take a second look. Hey. All right. Here comes Conrad. Let's give it up for Conrad. Conrad is hand carved out of basswood. Dave is made out of a mold with an epoxy kind of material, fiberglass, but Conrad is a very special creature. He was created by a man named Conrad Hartz. And Conrad Hartz hand carves out of basswood these figures, and they're pretty rare and everybody likes to have them. What are you talking about? I'm talking about you. Me? You can see that a little different character than Dave. Yes, indeed. Dandy, dandy. I do love the theater. I love the arts. Are we going to do Shakespeare? No, we're not going to do Shakespeare. To thee or not to thee? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the stings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Can I go on? No. Okay. All right, we're going to do a song. So Steve Sherman, my sound man, is going to come up here and help us out. And by the way, it's a little unnerving to be up here acting, because Steve Sherman was actually a child actor, a legitimate child actor, showing up in such TV shows as All in the Family, Marcus Welby. What are some other ones, Stevie? And he's constantly name dropping. Oh, yeah, famous for a Raisin Bran commercial. So, you know, that launched his career to about here. Kidding. So thank you, Steve. All right, let's do it. What are we going to sing? How about a little Louis Armstrong? Indeed. Let's do it. Take it away, maestro. See if this works. Now, the Zoom people may not hear the sound as well, but they're us singing. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what do you think? What a wonderful world. Your turn. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright, blessed days, the dark, sacred nights, and I think to myself, what do you think? What a wonderful world. Your turn. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, what? I love you. I hear babies cry. We'll watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll ever know. And I think to myself, what do you think, Conrad? What a wonderful world. Take us out. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah. That's it. That's it.
Jim, if you want to stay there with Conrad, you want to stay with her, Conrad?
We have time for maybe one or two questions, I think.
Yeah, so but let me just thank you, Jim. Jim, I've known Jim a long time. You know, Steve was my law partner for several years, and Herb, everybody knows Herb. You're a real Renaissance man. I mean, you really are. All the
Thank
things you've done in your career and your life, and this is wonderful that you have this and opportunity for people to enjoy it. We really appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you. And I hope it gives you permission to fall back in love with the stuff that you enjoyed when you were 10 years old. And, Steve is a magician when he was a young guy. He started to do magic again. So it's a great way to enjoy kind of your childhood. So thank you. Any questions for?
Yeah, let's have some. Let me go to Zoom first. Are there anybody on Zoom? Jeff, do you have anybody?
Conrad, do your head thing.
I don't think so.
Let me see here.
Drives me nuts every time he does that.
Jeff, do you have anybody?
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like there's anything on Zoom
Okay.
right now.
Okay, let's go here live. Anybody, any questions? Herb.
Ritter.
Well, wait till you get the microphone. Herb, this is being recorded for posterity. We need the mic.
Jim, I've heard you speak before. What are some of the vowels and letters
Yes.
that are hard to say for a ventriloquist? I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, I have had that slide in earlier presentations. Just time-wise, I'm always a little conscious. B, P, M. Anytime your lips come together, how do you do that? How do you make that happen, right? So let's give it a try. Instead of B, you say D, but you kind of slur it a little bit like basketball.
Basketball.
Bottle of beer. And
Bottle of
when
beer.
you hold your mouth, you smile a little bit. Some ventriloquists smile like that. They go,
Bottle of
"Bottle of
beer.
beer," or some of them are like,
Bottle of
"Bottle
beer.
of beer." So give it a try.
Oh, yeah.
Turn to your neighbor
Orange
and
hat.
say,
The orange hat. Dottle of deer.
"Bumblebee."
Dottle of deer.
It's tough.
Dundledee. Dundledee.
P.
Dundledee.
How about P? You say T, all right? People. People going by. There's a P and a B in that one. The easiest way though is just don't say words with B or P. It's true. It's true. All right. Good question, Herb.
I had a
Sheila.
question. Okay, so the outfits, do you like,
Oh, isn't that great?
yeah, do you order those or do you make them or?
You can do all of the above. For some of the little figures, I'll get them. We call them figures, by the way. They're not dummies. In this politically correct, neutral, figure is the best way to go. But who's a dummy? Not you. I know. So yeah, so we make them sometimes. My mom shortened the sleeves on this guy. Pam and I will go to Target and buy little. And I mean, our kids are grown, so it's a good way to have kids again. And go. This guy came this way when I bought him. So you can have a blast. You can have different outfits, different seasons.
I was just thinking maybe there's like the little, mannequin.
I don't think there really is. I think it's just you can find out there.
So I have a question, Jim.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed that figures that travel in a suitcase.
Yeah.
When you go through TSA, what is that experience?
This actually happened to me on the trip back from Cincinnati, Kentucky, Cincinnati. I had a figure, and I like to do them in carry-on just because I want to know right where they are. These can be pricey. Conrad is $1,500, just to give you an idea. These puppets are closer to $1,500, somewhere in that range. So I go through TSA, and my little carry-on got diverted. It's like it didn't go straight through like everybody else. It kind of went off to the side, and I'm like, I wonder if they think I have a dead body in there. And I pop the heads off. They have these little head sticks, so their heads will come out so you can fit. And he's probably going to think I murdered somebody and there's a dead person in there. And that wasn't it at all. It was just that I had a little can of Coca-Cola, and of course you can't Diet Coke, small one, right? You can't have those cans because, it could be an explosive and you're going to blow up the plane. And so I told the guy as he was opening, I said, I have a ventriloquist figure in there. And I was just told at the conference, don't mess around with TSA. Don't like throw your voice, like, let me out of here, let me out. And sure enough, you know what the guy says to me? He goes, you should have done something like, let me out of here, let me out. And I said, I just was at a conference and they said not to do that. He goes, oh, it's Cincinnati. We have a good time. Yes, sir.
So how did you get started? I should also mention, Jim is the founding member of the Las Positas College Foundation. But
Yeah.
how did you get started?
Thank you, Lynn. That's a great question. Lynn and I have served together many years on this LPC Foundation. So, yeah, I got started when I was 10. It was with that little guy right there in the red jacket. And I learned how to do ventriloquism with the Jimmy Nelson records. There were 2 records, and he taught you how to say the B's and the M's and the P's and how to hold the puppet. And one of the things that I've even catching myself doing it right now is you can't let the puppet go to sleep. Even if I'm looking over here, he needs to be doing this kind of thing, right? So he's always awake, always alive. It is a temptation to just kind of let them go to sleep where they just kind of like, that's not good. So he needs to look around. But yeah, and then I did it birthday parties and talent shows, and then I let it go and I led my life and, had a family. And then I'm at a point in my life right now where I think COVID had something to do with it too, just kind of getting interested in something I could do again. Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Lynn.
you,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
All right, we have one request on the Zoom. Ted, you want to unmute yourself and see if we can hear you? We cannot. All right, it was something going on Zoom that Ted wanted to try out, Ted Michaels. Herb, you have something else you want? So one final question, Jim. If I asked or hired you to show up at work and be me for a while, is that expensive? All right, thank you, everybody. I can't ring the bell, I guess. I can do this. All right, remember next week. Thank you, everybody, for coming.